Hey family, I'm Jordy. Welcome to a new video. I'm so happy to introduce to you the most great person, which has a great entrepreneur and full success. She has working approximately 10 years. She has begun incursion in the music industry. She has an amazing project. She will tell us more about this in this great conversion. I would like to introduce you and the great honor and great privilege, Karen Music Bella. Karen, I'm Jordy.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show.
It's a great honor.
Oh, honor and pleasure is all mine. And it's really cool that we can connect all the way from where I'm at, New York, to
Mm-hmm.
you, Mexico City. So it's really great.
Thank you. What is your favorite thing about the music world?
The favorite thing about the music world, um, the ability to listen to music
Mm-hmm.
has such a grand effect on your psyche and
Mm-hmm.
your emotions and your
Mm-hmm.
state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
It can be inspirational so that you can
Mm-hmm.
accomplish something you want to accomplish. It can be healing.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a form of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You just listen to a song and you'll feel better. And I think that's my favorite thing about music, listening to music and the music industry in general.
Without a doubt, currently we have seen the music in Mexico, USA, and Latin America now is being transformed under freedom of expression. Likewise, is now a very important thing. What would be the great effect on you? What would you be thinking about?
Can you say the question again?
Sure.
I was trying to understand it. I'm sorry.
Without a doubt, currently we have seen the music in Mexico, as in USA and Latin America, as being transformed and the freedom of expression.
Mhm.
Likewise, is now a very important part of the people now in this era. What would be the great effect?
What is the great effect of self-expression with music?
Yes, yes.
The great effect that you have when you are an artist, a
Mm-hmm.
writer,
Mm-hmm.
is that you can personally affect people and
Mm-hmm.
let them know, I too am going through this. I too see this from this perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're talking about in a song a relationship that is
Mm-hmm.
no, that broke, or your perspective on something, whether it's political, because there are a lot of artists that write political opinions,
Mm-hmm.
or about current events,
Mm-hmm.
or if you write something that's comical, you can personally affect people. You can help them. You can guide them. One of the things that I really love about someone like Lady Gaga, for
Mm-hmm.
example, she's a
Mm-hmm.
huge international pop star, and her whole thing is accepting people the way that they are, the way that they're born.
Mm-hmm.
And that's created such a movement for everyone to say, yes, I was born this way. And I
Mm-hmm.
love myself, no matter where I'm from, how I am, what my views are. And I think that that's the ultimate example of how self-expression in music can affect people from all over the world, not only where you are,
Mm-hmm.
but in places where self-expression isn't okay. I think
Mm-hmm.
that that eventually is the first step to lead people to allowing the rights for self-expression everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. That's so true. Which has been the biggest challenge in the music singing?
I think the biggest challenge that I've had, there's two challenges. One is
Mm-hmm.
internal, and
Mm-hmm.
that all stems from believing in yourself. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself, that
Mm-hmm.
you are worthy, that you can accomplish the goals
Mm-hmm.
that you want, um, you're always going to hit a wall, and
Mm-hmm.
you're always going to feel like you've failed.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is always believe in yourself, s-
Mm-hmm.
as one of the difficult things in the music industry. The second thing is getting to the right people that you want to get to, that's hard. When you send your music out, there's a lot of rejection in this industry, so you have to be persistent and keep at it. So I would say that there's like the external issue, which is what I just spoke about, and then the personal thing. So those are the two things that I think that make everything very difficult in the music industry. But it doesn't mean don't do it.
That's true. You mean the target you're getting through?
Well, if you want your music to be heard by a large amount of people, and you want some type of distribution, that means that you need to network and connect with the people who have the connections. Sometimes that means you have to self-invest financially. A lot of labels, they have the funding in order to get the results that you want. But when you're an independent artist, you usually have to do all those things yourself.
Yep. The timeless and favors of innovation about the music broadcasting has surprised us from a long time ago until today. What can we discover new ways to understand about the music, the music?
Do you mean in getting your music out there played?
Yeah.
So that's really a great question that you're asking after what I answered to your previous question. It's all about being very active and productive on social media, in-person live performances. You're basically selling the product, which is yourself, your music. And it's about, as I said before, networking with the right people to get your music, whether it's on radio or YouTube or internet radio of any kind. You just apply, submit, and you throw the spaghetti against the wall and you see which one sticks. I also think that there are companies that you can pay that will shop your music around to radio. There are radio promoters. So it all sums down to the funding that you have, the budget that you have, and how much you're willing to put into yourself, both work-wise and financially, to get your music out there to the right people so that they can push it and play it on the radio. If you have a music video, to submit your music video to all the places where they can play your video. So I hope that answers that question.
Absolutely. In this pandemic we are going through, did the music make you happier or make you go more further and further?
The ultimate answer is yes.
Okay.
I personally went through a very difficult 2020, going through some personal things. I didn't perform and I didn't really work in the music field for about 3 or 4 months when New York was in lockdown. And that was very difficult because you go, all right, I'm going through my emergency money quickly because you have bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? And you can't do the things that you used to do. You can't communicate with people in person the way you used to, and you're afraid to see your family. I know that it took me a long time to get back playing again. And I lost my dog. I had to put her down during 2020. I caught COVID in 2020. I lost some relationships that were very important to me in 2020. And it's an unfortunate time to lose those relationships because we need relationships more than ever now. But it was getting back into music and focusing on re-releasing my record that saved me. And so ultimately, yes, if it wasn't for music, I don't think that I'd be happier. I think I'd be more miserable.
What does it mean to you, the understanding of changes which have been so various within the economic that had influence on the music industry?
That's a really heavy question. It has changed so many things.
Mhm,
When there's a global issue, a pandemic of any kind, or something that affects the economy, it's usually the arts and the music that is
mhm,
affected. Because
mhm.
when you look at things, what is most important? The essential things that we need: food, shelter, water,
Right,
right?
right.
And all the other things, music, art, those are not things that we need for survival.
Mhm,
Personally, to me, music and art, I need for survival because it's a soul thing. But when you're speaking of the physical thing,
mhm,
it's shelter, water.
mhm,
It affected the music industry significantly in the sense that money wasn't being made like it was before with
mhm,
selling records. We're
mhm,
already suffering.
mhm,
People aren't buying physical CDs. People aren't
mhm,
buying physical records. They're streaming things.
mhm,
They're going on YouTube, Spotify, which is fine because it also gets your music out there. But
mhm,
the artists are not making the money that we're supposed to make. And that includes the record companies. They're not selling as many things, so they have to find and adapt to the changes in the way that things are. And it's been really wonderful to watch the industry figure their way to adapt to get the entertainment out there for live streams. How wonderful is it that, okay, there's a concert happening in Chicago, you don't live in Chicago, but you
mhm,
have the option of watching this band from the comfort of your own home if you just purchase a ticket online.
mhm,
Tours and live performances are how a lot of these bands and companies make their income.
mhm.
So I'm seeing the changes. The industry has been affected significantly, but I know that because it's so important for our souls and our minds to have art and music, we always find a way. And I've heard this said from other people: when there's a depression of any kind, there's
Mhm.
always that roaring 20s experience right after. So people are starting to go out, they're starting to perform, things are coming back, which is really wonderful. So I'm
Mhm.
expecting a huge explosion of new music, new everything.
That's true. That's true. In which way do you think the Mexican society has opening in the course of time to understand what specifically they support to the music, and likewise the freedom of expression in Mexico and the US?
So you're asking how Mexico is affected by self-expression
Mm-hmm.
and how I view it?
Yep.
I I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Mm.
Can you give me some history about have there been issues about self-expression over there?
For example, could be the reporters, for example, they have some suffering of expression, expressing their news or their thinking. It could be like that, for example.
Well, I think that when it comes down to media,
Mm-hmm.
we, the people, don't necessarily have the control of what they're choosing to tell us. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth,
Mm-hmm.
which means you really have to do your research to
Mm-hmm.
find out anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough
Mm-hmm.
about the specific things, but I can
Mm-hmm.
say, and I really, really do believe
Mm-hmm.
that artists, poets, writers, people who are in the public eye, who believe in motivating people to
Mm-hmm.
spread the truth, to
Mm-hmm.
spread the self expression, it
Mm-hmm.
eventually over time
Mm-hmm.
affects others. I mean, if you look at things from the 50s,
Mm-hmm.
1950s to now,
Mm-hmm.
there is a
Mm-hmm.
lot more uh, acceptance of self expression, of taking care of yourself, um, of your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas back then, people didn't want to discuss those things because they would say, "Oh my gosh, there's something wrong with you." Whereas today, it's there's nothing wrong with you. Everybody's going through this, and let's talk about it. So I believe
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. So if there is an issue with self-expression, in Mexico, for example, and again, I don't know enough about it to really talk about it. I do
Mhm.
believe that over time, these things can change. It might be small, subtle changes, but I I try to be positive and optimistic that things can be expressed the right way with freedom, um, and with no one holding you back to do so, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
That's true. That's true. That's true. For which, for you, which is the most satisfactory moment that has happened in your professional as a singer?
Oh wow! So there are two experiences. The first one was the entire process of recording my record, which I think changed my life. I worked with the most amazing people. My producer, Josh Dion, just
Mhm.
took my songs and brought them to another level. Being in the studio, spending time with such talented musicians who have become my friends is ultimately one of the most catalytic experiences that inspired me to become a better musician
Mhm.
and gave me the drive to push myself out there. The second most amazing experience that I've had is very recent, was shooting the music video for my song Jack Honey.
Mhm.
It's currently being edited. I worked with the most wonderful people, and I had to like pinch myself. I couldn't believe I was on set of this music video with all the cameras and the most professional crew I've worked with.
Mhm.
And I felt really comfortable doing it. I can't wait for it to be released, and I hope that that people like it when it's out.
It will be a success. I think it will be a success. Believe you in me. Believe me.
I believe you.
Totally a success. I heard it was amazing, Karen.
Oh,
Amazing.
thank you.
It is without a doubt that the music industry has a lot of changes, a very big. What is the most opinion of you of recording a CD, for example?
When I was younger,
Hmm.
I always understood that the music industry was someone would see your talent and go, "Oh, I love your voice," or "I love whatever it is that you do, and we want to sign you,
Hmm.
whether you're a manager or a record label, and invest in you and make you a superstar." And I
Hmm.
thought, that's how it happens. Someone sees you, you get
Hmm.
it, they make you a star, and you're out there, and boom, that's it.
Hmm.
That changed. It used to be like that in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And what happened is, because of the internet, because of uh, adapting to the changes of how the world works, it's no longer like that. The way that it is, from what my understanding is, you invest in yourself, you develop
Hmm.
yourself,
Hmm.
you go out there and you push yourself. Once you get to a point where you're getting enough attention, that's when larger people, your networking companies, come on board and they go, "Hey, we love what you do. We
Hmm.
want to we want to help you that little extra way."
Hmm.
It doesn't seem that record companies want to go to someone and say, "Hey, you're a diamond in the rough and we want to develop you and bring you all the way up." I wish it was like that. It would make things a lot more easy.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, by doing it yourself,
Hmm.
it's much more satisfying, and you have so much more respect for yourself. And and you also have to be very, very smart and educate yourself with how the business world works.
Hmm.
You're going to be receiving contracts, you're going to be receiving opportunities, and you have to know what's the right opportunity, what's the wrong opportunity. You have to be like a business yourself. And
Hmm.
so um, I think that that's been the major change that I've seen, um, from being a child singing since I was a kid and
Mm-hmm.
wanting to tour all over the world to now into
Mm-hmm.
my adulthood and
Mm-hmm.
understanding what was, what is, what might be.
Perfect. Tell us about a bit what has been the most experience with the time platform YouTube.
YouTube has been a miraculous thing. A lot of musicians and artists and people have achieved success, fame,
Mm-hmm.
income through that. It's been a platform, especially during the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
to release your music,
Mm-hmm.
to make videos through your computer or cell phone and upload it. It's also a way to create little teasers of, hey, I want to let you know about my music video that's coming out, which is something that I recently did. Um,
Mm-hmm.
one of the crews that worked on the music video for Jack Honey
Mm-hmm.
Fire, they created a behind the scenes 2 minute and 22-second
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
special, like hey, this is behind the scenes, and you can do things like that. You can do so much. I love watching YouTube, for example, to watch how to cook a new recipe, or little shows that are on YouTube, little interviews like the ones that we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I love YouTube on that. It's also wonderful to be connected to your favorite artist who's
Mm-hmm.
just released a music video or an interview or a special live performance. So I think YouTube is incredible, and I think it helps more than anything.
That's so true. You think the technology has been a beneficial or at the same time to you or an impulse?
Technology has been expressively and importantly beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to record. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
if you have all these programs on your computer, you can create a production,
Mm-hmm.
it at least in demo form, and then you can send that to somebody through the internet, and they can take it and make it sound super professional. You can do video chats like we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can speak with uh, 100 different people at the same time using Zoom, which is amazing, or any type
Mm-hmm.
of Zoom like video chat. I've done live performances through Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
FaceTime, Skype. I think technology has helped so much. It's allowed people to connect from the other side of the world within a second. And we have it in our little phone devices. We have the ability to reach the world through our little cell phones, iPads, Androids, and things like that. So I think it's been very beneficial as people and especially as artists.
Okay. What would be the recommendations for the people who would like to start in the music industry?
I would say that first of all, you have to really love music. That you wake up in the morning, you think of music. You go to sleep at night, you're thinking of music. You also have to remember that if you want to achieve something, you have to do something that you've never done before. So if you've
Mm-hmm.
never practiced and played an instrument before, that means you have to practice the instrument that you want to play, or whether you're a singer or an actor or dancer, you have to put the work behind it, and you have to remember it's a lot of work and a lot of dedication. You have to make sacrifices. So, for example, uh, you have to choose between practice more or hanging out with friends. And your choice should be practice more. It depends how serious you are and how bad you want your life to be a certain way. I want my life to be primarily focused around music and touring and performing and accomplishing the goals that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my mindset. And that's what I try to do every day. Even on my off days, I
Mm-hmm.
still am working. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still making the phone calls, still doing this. It's when I literally go, I can't function anymore. That's when I
Mm-hmm.
turn on the TV and watch my favorite
Mm-hmm.
shows, and I turn my phone off, and that's it. But it's rare that I do that.
Mm-hmm.
So so my advice is believe in yourself, work really hard, be persistent, and never, ever, ever, ever give up. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many no's you've gotten. If you really believe in yourself and you want it, you go for it.
Wow. What would be the 3 words that come to your mind about the growth that Karen Bella had been doing as a career of singing?
Oh, wow. Wow, that's all right. I'm gonna have to think. Um,
Gotcha.
Resilience.
Okay.
Uh, that's really important because you're going to have a lot of things, a lot of speed bumps in the road,
Mhm,
and you're going to
mhm,
have a lot of, a lot of obstacles and challenges that you're going to have to get through personally
mhm,
as well as professionally. And you
mhm,
have to learn to build up that strength to go, okay, I just went through something really difficult and I have to be resilient and rise above this and keep going.
mhm,
So, resilience, determination,
mhm,
you have to have that focused mind of keeping your eye on the prize, no matter
mhm,
what. And I remember I was going through something really difficult and I was crying,
mhm.
and my brother said to me, I understand you're going through this, but keep your eye on the prize,
Wow.
right? And then I would say the last thing is believe. I know it's a little tacky, but believe.
Mhm,
If you believe, not it's not believe like, oh yeah, I believe everything's gonna be okay. No, it's
mhm,
I believe now. I believe that this is it. This is what I am. This is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I really genuinely believe, just as I know I'm holding this mug right now.
mhm.
The reality of me knowing I'm holding this mug is the equivalence of the belief of knowing that you are the performer you're supposed to be. I am successful. I am a singer. I am touring the world. You believe, I believe, therefore it is. And it takes a lot of work in your mind and in your
Mhm,
heart to get
mhm.
to that place where your belief system is so strong that nothing can bring it down.
Great. I'm extremely, extremely grateful to you, Karen. Specifically, especially the great way of the breakdown, the great of art of music. Leave us your social network, please, and we will put them in the comment box.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I'm really appreciative that we connected and that you so positively responded and that we're able to talk today. The love and support from people means so much because it's not just saying, okay, I like your music. It's also saying, I like you. I
Mhm,
like who you are and what you have to say, and I accept you for who you are. And that's so important for people to accept one another
mhm,
because don't we all just want to be accepted
mhm,
for who we are?
mhm. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. I think this interview will help you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise, I hope so for you as well, and that anything that you do in your life, that you do with confidence and that it moves you forward and upward, and that all the people in your life move you forward and upward.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Welcome.
I'm Jordi. Sí. Bienvenidos a un nuevo video. Take care, please. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.